Courtney Freckleton, better known by his stage name, Nines, is a name any UK rap fan would recognise. A man who topped the UK charts, won the Mobo Award for Best Hip Hop Act, and collaborated with artists like Dave and Tion Wayne. Nines was living the dream, climbing the ranks of British music and racking up millions of streams. But behind the lyrics, there was a darker business still pulling him in. In 2021, Nines was jailed for importing 28 kilograms of cannabis into the UK from Spain and Poland. 28 kilos. That's not a personal stash, that's industrial. And it gets even more brazen. The court heard that some of the drugs were hidden inside boilers shipped from Poland. It was, according to prosecutors, a pretty sophisticated operation. So what went wrong? Let's rewind a bit. Nines, born and raised in Harlesden, northwest London, had already seen the inside of a prison cell once before. In 2013, he was handed an 18-month sentence for possession of cannabis with intent to supply. But even after tasting fame, he couldn't seem to leave the street trade behind. He and an associate, Jason Thompson, aged 35, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to import cannabis, as well as to money laundering charges. Prosecutors described how they tried to cover their tracks with Bitcoin payments, hoping the cryptocurrency would keep them under the radar. But it didn't work. Their luck ran out when police raids in June 2021 across London and Boreham Wood, Hertfordshire, pulled the curtain back. Authorities had hacked into EncroChat, an encrypted messaging network that thousands of criminals across Europe thought was untouchable. It turned out to be anything but. French investigators cracked it, sharing the data with UK police, who built their case. Inside these chats, investigators found Nines communicating with an exporter who used the name Microbird. They called the cannabis Cali, using code names and coded language, but it was all recorded, every line, every deal, every shipment. The court heard that the drug importation plot involved one successful smuggling run and a second attempt that was intercepted. All in all, 28 kilos of cannabis moved through their network, with a street value connected to a £98,000 debt, laundered through cryptocurrency. When the case came to Harrow Crown Court, Judge Rosa Dean looked straight at Nines and summed up what a lot of people were thinking. What a waste of all of that talent to be sat in Wormwood scrubs. Nines was sentenced to 28 months in prison, the same as his co-defendant, Jason Thompson. At that point, it should have been the end of the story, but for Nines, it wasn't. Fast forward to November 2023. Just as he seemed to be getting back on track musically, he was arrested yet again, this time at Heathrow Airport. A video shared on social media showed the rapper dressed in a white t-shirt and grey tracksuit, with his hands cuffed behind his back. 4 uniformed officers escorted him through the terminal as onlookers filmed. The charges? Police accused him of being concerned in the supply of cannabis again. He was also charged with 3 counts of breaching a serious crime prevention order, allegedly failing to tell police his home address, plus having an unregistered second phone and laptop. All things he was banned from doing. At Uxbridge Magistrates Court, Nines did not enter any pleas. He was granted conditional bail and told to appear at Kingston Crown Court in December for a plea and case management hearing. But before that court date came around, something changed. Nines announced he was stepping away from music for good. For someone who had once beaten the likes of Metallica to the top of the UK album charts with Crabs in a Bucket, that was a shocking decision. A man who'd made history on the Mobo stage, who had worked with the UK's biggest rap names, who'd been streamed millions of times, deciding to just walk away. It seemed that, for Nines, music couldn't keep him from being drawn back into the street world. Even after being crowned a champion of UK rap, even after leaving Harlesden behind, the shadow of that past was never far away. Maybe the judge was right. What a waste of talent. Nines had built a life millions dream about. But one wrong move, one link to the underworld, was all it took to tear it down. As for what happens next, well, at the time of writing this video, Nines has been released from prison. But after quitting music, it looks like his story is at a crossroads. The man known as Big Boss has choices to make. Walk away from crime for good, or risk throwing away his freedom yet again. No one knows what will happen. But one thing is clear. In the world of UK rap, Nines will always be a name that sparks debate. A chart topper, an award winner, and a cautionary tale. If you found this story interesting, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more true crime stories just like this one. Stay safe and I'll catch you in the next video. Catch you in the next one.